Hello, YouTube world, TikTok world. Hi. You know the drill, guys. Start tapping the screen, send the likes up so the live can reach on other people's For You pages. Also, share the live with a friend or 10. Let them know that it's news time. I'm also live on YouTube. I'm also live on TikTok. For YouTube, I haven't been live in months. Probably almost a year I haven't been live on YouTube. Months, actually. But we're back. So I'm just giving other folks a few more minutes to get here, then I start the news. And tomorrow, the Minister of Labor and Social Security, Minister Pernell Charles Jr., is going to join us. He has some updates regarding the hurricane relief initiatives. So you can look out for that. Aquarius Black 7 Records, hi, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the evening news. Let's get to 1,000 likes real quick on TikTok, guys. Yeah, so hold on, I didn't put my hotline. Hello. All right, so I'll just get into the news. Heidi Smith, hi. Let's get into it, yeah, shall we? Let me just bring this over a bit. Ross, hi. Benson, hello. Heidi Smith, it's your birthday. Guys, 1 second. Godchildren, hi. Heidi, it's your birthday. Okay, Heidi. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Heidi. Happy birthday to you. I hope you had a good birthday, Heidi. I hope you had a good birthday. Okay, let's get into the news. So for those of you here on YouTube, this is news from Jamaica. So let's get into it. All right, let's go. From Indonesia, hi, thank you. And we start with some good news. Jamaica has successfully qualified for 3 spots in the 2026 Winter Olympics for Italian cities in February. The Jamaica Bobsleigh and Skeleton Federation shared on Instagram that the 3 spots were secured by Mika Moore on the Monobob event. The 2-man team of Shane Pitta and crew, Nimroy, Joel, and Junior, and the 4-man team of Shane Pitta and crew, Andre Dacres, Junior Harris, Taekwondo Tracy, and Joel Ferron. Noting that the qualifications confirm Jamaica as one of the most consistent tropical nations in winter sport, the Federation shared that the qualifications equal Jamaica's participation from the 2022 Beijing Games. So, this is some good news. I mean, Jamaica qualifying for bobsled, and we don't even have snow. We barely have a winter good. Can you imagine if we actually had snow? Una Davidson, hi. Imagine if we actually had snow. Okay, and now we go to some not so good news. Stephen Catcore, co-founder of legendary reggae band Third World and one of Jamaica's most respected musicians, has died. The iconic guitarist passed away suddenly Sunday evening. He was 69 years old. Core was one of the early members of Inner Circle before leaving to start Third World with keyboardist Ibo Cooper. Third World's pioneering fusion of reggae, soul, funk, pop, and rock helped shape the reggae fusion sound and propel Jamaican music onto the global stage. The band achieved international acclaim with enduring classics such as Now That We Found Love, 96 Degrees in the Shade, and Try Ja Love, becoming one of Jamaica's longest running and most successful bands. Core, who is celebrated for his exceptional musicianship, compositional brilliance, and deep musical knowledge, was awarded the Order of Distinction by the Government of Jamaica in recognition of his outstanding contribution to Jamaican culture and creative arts. He leaves behind his wife Lisa, his children Shaya, Kana, Stephen, and Ashley, his grandchildren, as well as extended family, bandmates, colleagues, and countless fans across the globe. It's so sad. Condolences to his family. Juliet Thomas, hello. Welcome to the evening news. And we are going down the line. As Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, moves into the critical final phase of power restoration following Category 5 Hurricane Melissa, the company is rebuilding the island's transmission network with a major focus on St. Elizabeth. The update was shared during a meeting between the JPS leadership team and councillors of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation on Wednesday, January 14. The transmission system, which carries high voltage electricity from power plants to substations across the island, sustained extensive damage when the hurricane made landfall on October 28 last year. President and CEO of JPS, Hugh Grant, disclosed that in recent weeks, hundreds of line workers have been deployed to restore transmission belts across the western parishes, with just over 200 assigned to the Breadbasket parish. Grant noted that in St. Elizabeth alone, more than 20 miles of transmission lines are being rerouted, repaired, or rebuilt to restore electricity to remaining sections of the parish. Okay, hold tight, St. Elizabeth. Hello, Yuna. All right. And we're going down the line. The Ministry of Justice is proposing the construction of new courthouses in parishes where existing facilities were severely impacted by Hurricane Melissa. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck raised the issue during a ministerial statement in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. He said Melissa has left a trail of destruction, mainly in the western end of the island. Three parish courts in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, and Trelawney were either totally or substantially damaged. He said at this stage, the ministry's team will need to work in close collaboration with Chief Justice Brian Sykes and his team to identify suitable locations. Makes sense. In the meantime, the minister noted that the Chief Justice has again highlighted concerns regarding court infrastructure. He pointed out that there are 57 courts across Jamaica and that apart from the Supreme Court, the vast majority are more than a century old, as in more than 100 years old. Yeah, so... But the effects of the devastating hurricane, most of them are in the best shape they have ever been. Chuck said this was because of significant sums spent for major renovation and improvement of some of these facilities. He said in the last 2 financial years, they spent approximately $764 million. Okay. Major Smith, hello, welcome to the evening news. And a taxi operator has been charged with larceny of produce following an incident at a farm in St. Mary on Thursday, January 15. He has been identified as 37-year-old Anthony Taylor, otherwise called Waggy, of Knutsfield, Islington in the parish. Reports from the Agricultural Protection Branch, APB, Area 2 team are that about 10:45 a.m., police were alerted by security personnel at the property that men were observed stealing produce from the farm. Upon the arrival of the police, a search of the property was conducted, during which 74 dry coconuts, 4 empty bags, and 1 machete were found in the area where the men were last seen. Shortly thereafter, a Toyota Probox was observed at another section of the farm being loaded with pineapples. The driver, upon seeing the police, sped off in the direction of Robinson Bay. He was pursued by the police and later apprehended at his home, where more than 200 pineapples were found in his possession. Taylor was taken into custody and subsequently charged. A court date for him is being finalized. And the United States government on Saturday revised its travel advisory for Jamaica to level 2, 2 months after the passage of Hurricane Melissa, which resulted in Washington increasing the advisory to level 3 due to extensive damage in western parishes from the Category 5 hurricane. Noting that the island is still recovering from the October 28, 2025 storm, the U.S. government said some areas in the western part of Jamaica, such as Black River and Montego Bay, are in varying stages of recovery from the hurricane. At the same time, it advised its citizens that all major airports have reopened for commercial flights. The U.S. also advised Americans to confirm availability of services and amenities before traveling to Jamaica. The advisory also noted that while violent crime is a risk throughout Jamaica, tourist areas generally see lower rates of violent crime than other parts of the country. You love my locks? Thank you. Is a hurricane built up in the Caribbean? No, it's not hurricane season. There are no hurricanes out at this time. And more details have emerged about Saturday's fatal shooting of a wanted man, Davar Hodges, on Jakes Road in Mountain View, Kingston 3. Hodges, otherwise called Skedo, and Blackhead from Brownstown, St. Anne, was reportedly shot dead after he allegedly pointed an illegal firearm at the police. The weapon, a Black Jimenez Arms Inc. pistol, if that's how it's pronounced, that's crazy, with a magazine containing 7 live 9mm rounds, was reportedly seized from the now deceased. Reports indicate that around 5:30 a.m., the Kingston Eastern Police entered the premises where Hodges was staying and saw a female run from a room. The officers entered the room and Hodges, upon being accosted, reportedly pointed a firearm at the lawman, who took evasive action and shot him. He was transported to the Kingston Public Hospital, where doctors pronounced him dead. Hodges was wanted in the St. Anne Police Division for wounding with intent and was recently featured on the JCF Wanted Wednesdays campaign. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, visited the scene and commenced an investigation. All right. Let me close these tabs. So that we have more space. Closed the wrong tab a while ago. Okay. But we're back. Okay. The Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, has delivered on its promise to restore electricity to the Roaring River National Water Commission NWC pump, which serves Westmoreland residents. According to the JPS, the energization of the lines leading to the pump was completed on Wednesday night, with tests confirming that supply was provided. The company said these lines are also now supplying power to JPS customers in sections of Westmoreland, including Petersfield, Waterworks, and Shrewsbury Falls. The JPS pointed out that the restoration of the pump required the rebuilding of more than 10 miles of electricity lines from the power source at the JPS Paradise substation to NWC's Roaring River pump, and more than 100 linesmen on the job to push to completion. On Tuesday, the JPS announced that it was undertaking extensive rebuilding works to restore electricity to the Roaring River National Pump, which supplies water to approximately 50,000 Westmoreland residents by this week. At that time, the company said the energization of the lines leading to the pump would also restore power to more than 1,700 customers across sections of Westmoreland. I'm happy to hear that. So Westmoreland people, and I'll get back on the lights, on the water. I'm happy for you guys. All right, and we are going down the line. I had it twice. Also had this. Okay. Good night. Welcome to the evening news. Colin, hello. All right. Gleaner's website is taking forever to load. I don't know why. Dwayne, hi, good night. Page is unavailable. Come on, not right now, Gleaner. All right, let's move to Nationwide and see. And a little bit of politics. Nationwide News understands that Wentworth Skeffrey has resigned as People's National Party PNP Deputy General Secretary. When the Nationwide News team center contacted him for a comment, he refused to speak on the record. However, sources say the resignation is effective February 28 this year. Skeffrey was PNP campaign director during the 2025 general election, in which the Mark Golding-led party was defeated as Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the governing Jamaica Labour Party secured their historic third consecutive term in office. Skeffrey resigned as the PNP representative on the Electoral Commission of Jamaica ECJ late last year. Sources say he was pressured into doing so by senior members of the leadership of the PNP. A close ally of PNP President Mark Golding, Maureen Webber, has since been appointed to join General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell as the PNP's representatives on the ECJ. There are questions that need answers. All right, some good news. Francesco, hello. Parents of children admitted to the Bustamante Hospital for Children can now remain with them until 10 p.m. daily under a pilot program launched by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The ministry says the initiative, dubbed Family Caregivers Pilot Program, is designed to formally involve parents, guardians, and family members in a child's healing journey while they are hospitalized. And the Ministry of Health and Wellness made this statement on Monday, that's today. Yeah, this is good news. Parents have long complained about restrictions they say prevent them from spending sufficient time with children admitted to the hospital. Under the program, parents and guardians who are registered members of the program will be permitted to remain with their child at the hospital until 10 p.m. throughout the duration of the child's admission, subject to established guidelines and hospital protocols. I have an issue with hospital visiting hours. I mean, yes, you're sick, you're in the hospital, you need to rest and all of that, but I mean, your family members only having, what, 3 hours with you is just not enough. I mean, when they leave, you're lonely, you're sad. Nurses aren't spending time with you, so you just lay down upon your back, sad and depressed. Yeah, I mean, when I'm admitted to hospital, I love when my friends and family come visit, and I'm always sad when they have to leave. I always can't wait for visiting hours each day when I'm in the hospital. I hate it. You're just there alone on your back for hours. Yeah? Well, this is some good news. I like this. Up until 10 p.m. isn't bad at all. Isn't bad at all. All right. And Jamaica has recorded a significant reduction in murders in the opening weeks of the new year, with official figures showing a 45% decline for a 17-day period when compared to the same period last year. According to the latest crime statistics, which were published by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, on Sunday, as of January 17, 2026, a total of 22 murders were recorded island-wide, down from 40 for the corresponding period in 2025. So basically, this is it. Between January 1 and January 17 this year, 22 murders were recorded. January 1 to January 17 in 2025, 40 murders were recorded. That's crazy. The figures reflect continued momentum following last year's overall decline in violent crime, though authorities caution that challenges remain. Despite the overall reduction, last week saw an uptick in deadly violence. 10 people were killed violently between January 10 and 17, marking the first week since the start of the year in which murders reached double digits. The previous week recorded 8 murders. The country averaged 13 murders per week in 2025, ending the year with 673 murders, the lowest in 31 years. And that's some good news. We'll take that. The body of a St. Thomas man who was reported missing has been found in bushes in a state of decomposition. He has been identified by the police as a 53-year-old laborer, Donald Minot, of Harbour Head Road in Port Morant. The discovery was made on Sunday. The police indicated that Minot was reported missing on January 12. The police reported that around 6 a.m., information was received that a body was found in bushes along Harbour Head Road. A police team was sent to the area and the body was seen. The man's body was subsequently removed with a post-mortem expected to be conducted. The Morant Bay Criminal Investigation Branch is probing the matter. All right. Hello. Ayuba, hi. All right. And we're going down the line. A 21-year-old Hanover man accused of breaking into a woman's house during the early hours of New Year's Day and allegedly raping her at knife point has since been taken into custody and charged. He is Tayshawn Anglin, who is charged with rape, assault at common law, burglary, and simple larceny. After being on the run, Anglin was arrested last Friday during a police operation. Reports from the Lucy police are that on Wednesday, December 31, Around 8 p.m., the woman securely locked her house and retired to bed. The police further report that sometime after 3 a.m. on Thursday, January 1, she was awoken by Anglin, who allegedly forcefully removed her clothes, held a knife on her belly, and sexually assaulted her. After the ordeal, Anglin reportedly threatened the woman, then escaped through a front window. The woman later discovered that 4 louver blades, as well as cash amounting to $61,000 that she had in a pan on her refrigerator, were missing. A report was made to the police and the scene was visited and processed. The woman was later assisted to hospital where she was medically examined. On Friday, January 16, Anglin was arrested during a police operation after he was identified to the police and subsequently charged. His court date is being finalized. Sad. All right. Now this is a story, this is a regional story, and this is out of Guyana. The Georgetown Public Hospital in Guyana has confirmed that an investigation has been launched into the death of a 22-year-old pregnant woman who is reported to have jumped to her death from a window of the female medical ward on the 3rd floor of the building. The authorities said that Marissa Eastman of West Bank, Demerara, Region 3, who was 6 months pregnant, jumped to her death Sunday evening. She was admitted to the hospital earlier on Sunday after relatives became concerned about what they described as her increasingly abnormal behavior. In a statement, the hospital said that it is conducting a full internal investigation and that when the woman was admitted, a psychiatric evaluation was done, but there were no psychotic symptoms or suicidal thoughts identified. It also said that as part of the investigation process, the hospital will also review existing protocols related to patient observation and mental health monitoring, including suicide watch policies, to identify any areas for strengthening patient safety. This is so sad, man. My God. 6 months pregnant, she jumped to her death. This happened in Guyana. No, this is why we cannot have anything nice. And this is why other people will have bad things to say about us as Jamaicans. And this is why the good always will suffer for the bad. Yeah? 3 workers at a hotel in Trelawney have been charged for allegedly copying room keys issued to them during the passage of Hurricane Melissa and using the duplicates to steal a total of $2,000 from guest rooms. The accused are 25-year-old Anthony Binns of Lewis St. Anne, 29-year-old Alex Reed of Rose Hall, Montego Bay, St. James, and 31-year-old Skillian Fuller of Linstead, St. Catherine. They have been charged with unlawful possession of hotel room keys, computer forgery, conspiracy to commit computer fraud, and simple larceny. The police say the alleged offenses were committed between November 2025 and January 2026. Reports from the Falmouth police are that during Hurricane Melissa, the 3 men were granted permission to remain on the property and were issued key cards to access their respective rooms. After the hurricane, the men were instructed to return the keys. However, Reed reportedly failed to do so, according to the police. The police further report that Reed collaborated with Binns and Fuller to duplicate the key card, which was later used to gain entry to guest rooms and steal $2,000 from unsuspecting guests. A report was subsequently made to the police and all 3 men were apprehended and charged. Their court dates are being finalized. Why we must stay so? why are we like this as a people? Why we stay so? Why people stay so? Why I don't know. And if the hotel never make them stay up on the property during Hurricane Melissa, you hear say the employers this and that, and them wicked and them heartless and this and that, and they make you stay up on the property. And what do? Copy the keys and then go up on the property, go thief the guests their money. Yeah? Them fire on now, you hear say, oh, them a fight poor people, them not like poor people, them heartless, them wicked, people bad mind, obey you, a spiritual attack, a Satan, one bag of Satan. We're gonna blame everything and everybody else except ourselves. Yeah? Yeah, Satan wicked, there's the devil, blah blah blah, but I mean there's also free will. Sometimes when I Satan make another things, on just wicked, on just lie and thief. Sometimes Satan they hell of minding business, are busy with other people. I want to choose to get up on the wicked things and then blame say a spiritual attack, a Satan, a this and that. Come on now. Alright, we're going down the line. Hello, Ruthie. Alright, so we are going down the line. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is once again hitting back at critics of the government's distribution of generators to parishes worst affected by Hurricane Melissa. He was speaking at the official reopening of business shops on the border of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland. The Category 5 system caused widespread loss of electricity in several parishes. As part of its relief efforts, the government announced last year that it would be distributing generators to state entities and emergency services, but the move was heavily criticized. Dr. Holness says small business operators also benefited from the distribution. In the meantime, the Prime Minister says his administration has the challenging task of combating the increasing levels of misinformation in the country. Dr. Holness says dispelling misinformation has become a challenge for many global leaders. Yeah, because social media gives everybody this power in them fingers and their mouth. All of a sudden, everybody a philosopher, everybody an expert in a politics, everybody an expert in a hurricane recovery and all of that. I remember when it was announced that I don't remember what country it was, they gave us some generators. The country themselves put out a statement to say that they're gifting Jamaica the generators for Jamaicans. Yeah, emergency services and all of that. These people took the statement to say they gave the Prime Minister the generators for the Jamaican people. So the Prime Minister is supposed to take the generators, give to a few people. Now when him do that now, we are going to hear other people are cussing them deserve it more, these people don't deserve it, right? And what would the criteria be for him to distribute the generators to these specific people? Thousands of people are affected by the hurricane, so why am I going to only give 50 people generators? For them take it, get electricity, for get internet service, for charge them phone, and then company internet can chat fast at daytime. When you have businesses out there, we need generator, so them can get up and running, so them can contribute to the economy, so we can continue growing. Also, you have essential services like police stations, community centers, the shelters, hospitals, yeah, health centers, clinics, those places need generators. And the plan was, okay, we'll lend small businesses a generator for start up at them business. When them get back light, them lend the generator to another business, somebody when they get back the light. And so we do that, and then after that now we take back the generator them and put them up for when we have another disaster. Because believe it or not, we will get another hurricane in the future. For the next year, or the other year, or the year after that. I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah. And I mean, and when now the government give individuals the generators now, not gonna expect government to gas it for no, to service it for no, and all of them something they don't. I have no issue with what the government chose to do with the generators. I have no issues with that. Yeah. No issues with that whatsoever. But oh well, everybody's an expert in disaster recovery, so yeah. Anyways, we're going on the line. We already read that Wentworth Skeffrey resigned. Alright, and the St. Elizabeth police have taken 5 people, including a woman, into custody in connection with the seizure of over 100 rounds of ammunition and 2 firearms in Santa Cruz on the weekend. Commanding officer for the division, Superintendent Coleridge Minto, says the arrests and seizure followed coordinated operations in 3 sections of the parish. How much time I get a person of illegal gun these days? That's so crazy. That is so crazy. Guys, you can be at the wrong place at the wrong time, yeah, or at the right place at the wrong time, around the right people at the wrong time, around the wrong people at the wrong time. So just be careful. If you're traveling in a car with somebody, they have an illegal gun, you may not even know so them have an illegal gun. When police come and find that gun on that person, them are gonna cuff you to one carry a gas station. Yeah, so just be careful. I don't want to mess up on the police record, yeah? That's a lot of trouble for future opportunities. Yeah, for traveling, getting visas, certain jobs. So just be careful of who you mix and mingle with. Be careful. And speaking of gun, Chief Executive Officer of the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, Shane Dalling, says applications for gun licenses are on the rise. Dalling says peer pressure is among the factors motivating people to want to possess legal firearm. Yeah, because friends are say, yeah man, you need to go get a gun, you get a gun, even when you don't need one. People are pushing to get licensed firearm, and some people just careless with for them. Yeah. Alright, this story came out on the weekend and I had recorded it and posted it on my wall. Not sure how many of you have seen it, but Bolting High, police have confirmed the seizure of more than $5 million worth of cocaine at the Sangster International Airport in St. James, leading to the arrest of 2 senior government employees. Detectives assigned to the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, says the suspects, a man and a woman, were taken into custody on Friday during an operation at the airport. According to the police, the 2 were intercepted around midday by port security and FNID personnel at a security checkpoint while attempting to board a flight destined for New York. A search of their luggage reportedly revealed several false compartments containing rectangular packages of cocaine weighing 9.25 kilograms with an estimated street value of $5.4 million. Yeah, that's basically 20 pounds of cocaine. Police also found a sum of cash in United States currency inside a handbag that was on the female. Following the arrests, FNID conducted secondary operations at the suspect's residence, where they seized a Glock 19 pistol, 13 rounds of ammunition, and 1 ounce of cocaine. Police further disclosed that one of the suspects, the male, admitted to having ingested more than 70 pellets of cocaine. People still under them something, yeah? Police further disclosed that one of the suspects admitted to having ingested more than 70 pellets of cocaine. He has since been admitted to a medical facility and remains under police guard. People still under them something, yeah? They are one is from the St. Anne Municipal Corporation and one is from the Trelawney Municipal Corporation. And on the subject of drugs, the Inspector of Police arrested for breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act in St. Andrew last Thursday has been charged. He is 51-year-old Martin Walker of Greater Portmore, St. Catherine. Inspector Walker has been charged with possession of, dealing in, and trafficking cocaine. Good night. It is understood that the charges were laid on Saturday following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney, Christopher Townsend. Inspector Walker is assigned administrative duties at the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. A member of the Jamaica Defense Force and a mechanic were also arrested along with a policeman on Thursday. Reports are detectives from the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, swooped down on a bar in Woodford Park, Kingston 4. Following a search of Inspector Walker's vehicle, 12.5 pounds of cocaine was found. The inspector had initially declined to have the vehicle searched, but sources say he eventually admitted to a senior FNID officer that the illegal drugs were in his car. It is understood that the quantity of the drug has an estimated street value of up to $100 million. The policeman's service pistol along with 53 rounds, his force ID, and a cell phone were also seized. His first court date is being finalized, and the other 2 men that were arrested along with him, I think they were released. Mighty God. Now you have to lose your good work. You have to go to prison. Unfortunate. Alright, and we are going down the line. I am ready for love. Why are you hiding from me? I'd quickly give my freedom to be held in your captivity. Alright, I'm trying to load the other stories, but I am ready for love. These websites they're taking forever to load. I don't know. Okay, and a St. James woman who was apprehended after being listed as wanted in connection with the death of her partner at a house in St. Andrew has been charged with murder. Hi Gazaman, hi Latoya. She is 25-year-old Brittany Hall, otherwise called Shadana, of Hurlock District in Montego Bay. Dead is 27-year-old security officer Wayne Robinson of Trenchtown in Kingston. Reports from the Hunts Bay Police are that sometime after midnight on Thursday, October 30, Hall and Robinson were at a house in Corville Gardens, St. Andrew, when she made an alarm. The police say Hall's relative entered the house and saw Robinson bleeding from his chest. The injured man was assisted to hospital where he died while undergoing treatment. Following the incident, Hall fled the community and was later listed as wanted by the police. She was apprehended in St. James on Monday, January 12. She was charged 4 days later after a warrant was executed on her. Her court date is being finalized. The 25-year-old and that's for your life. You had your whole life. You know how I wish me could have go back to being 25 right now. I mean, then again, we don't know if a self-defense, but Jano, it rough. And the man not there for say for self-defense, so she probably have got prison for a long time. Alright, and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has approved a disbursement of 415 million US dollars for Jamaica. The funds are intended to further help with the economic pressures caused by last October's passage of Hurricane Melissa. In a statement last Friday, the IMF said its executive board approved the disbursement under the Rapid Financing Instruments, RFI, Large Natural Disaster Window. The funding is equivalent to approximately 65 billion Jamaican dollars. The IMF says it's intended to help meet immediate balance of payment needs stemming from the destruction caused by the hurricane. It stressed that Jamaica's strong track record of economic reforms has created buffers that are proving invaluable in addressing the economic fallout and reconstruction needs. So yes, guys, IMF is giving us money, is giving the country money. They're not giving it, but the Prime Minister come give you money in your hand. So I don't know about the foolishness. I say, oh, IMF send me money, I'm not send none of that money there. I'm not get none of that money there. IMF never said no money come out here for the Prime Minister give in your hand. That is not how it works. So I don't even bother with it. I don't bother with it. I don't bother with the foolishness. That is not how it works. So I just don't bother with it. Please. No bother with the foolishness. Alright. And chairman of the Southern Regional Health Authority, Wayne Chen, says that the restoration of physical infrastructure at Mandeville Regional Hospital has been accelerated in response to the health crisis which has developed there since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Patient numbers now reportedly far exceed capacity, and exhausted staff struggle daily to keep pace as the hospital is accommodating patients from St. Elizabeth, Trelawney, St. Anne, Westmoreland, St. Mary, and Clarendon. Poor Mandeville. The hospital's chief executive officer, Alwyn Miller, says immediately after the hurricane, the average daily admission of patients was about 340, while since January this year, the average daily admission stands at 362. The figure does not include about 200 daily visits for motor vehicle and motorcycle crashes, injuries sustained during home repairs, and complications from chronic non-communicable diseases. Officially, the hospital has a capacity of 226 beds. So the hospital have a capacity of 226 bed spaces, 226. But you have admission of patients at 362. So listen, guys, again, as I always say, yes, our health system is not perfect, far from perfect. Yeah, it is broken. It will not be fixed overnight. It will not be fixed next week or next month or next year. And no, all the hospitals in Jamaica will never have enough capacity to fit all the sick people and injured people all at once. There's a thing called personal responsibility. We each have a role to play. If you know the system is broken, the system is not perfect, do not put yourself in a position, yeah, to fall at the mercy of said broken system. So if you know that the hospital in Mandeville is overcrowded at the moment, don't be in a Mandeville town of the carelessness. I walk out in the road, now look when you cross the road for car lick you down. You ride on a stunt pan bike, no helmet, no knee pads, no nothing. Yeah? You not eat right, you not exercise, you not take your blood pressure medication, you not take your diabetes medication. So when sickness take you now, you end up at an overcrowded hospital and then you go complain and cuss government. Yeah? Get it together. Think on these things and get it together. Do with this information what you will, yeah? That's all I can say. Hi, yeah, I haven't been live. I didn't come live all of last week. I'm also live on YouTube as well. I'm trying to go back live on YouTube. I want to get my watch hours back up. I lost over 1,000 watch hours, so I want to get them back because I want to get monetized this year. Yeah, but yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Let me comment my YouTube channel name in the comments so you can subscribe. I've been working on my content strategy, so I'm going to have more content coming out soon. Yeah, so that pinned comment is my YouTube channel, so go subscribe. All right. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake has again responded to critics concerned about the surge in fatal police shootings. Members of the security forces fatally shot 310 people last year, and there have been nearly 20 such shootings so far this year. There have been increasing calls by INDECOM, the Independent Commission of Investigations, human rights groups, and other critics for increased use of body-worn cameras during specialized police operations targeting criminals, gangs, and their leaders in order to resolve disputes in some fatal police shootings. But in his weekly column in the Police Force Orders, Commissioner Blake urged members of the force not to be daunted by the criticisms and to continue carry out their duties in a professional manner. Dr. Blake said he has been following the discussions over the last couple of days about police fatal shootings and body-worn cameras. He added that he has been taking note of what he described as several attempts of a few to create a false perception of the issues. Yeah, the man tell the police them say, yo, no watch no face, just continue carry it in the work in a professional manner. You understand? Yeah. Alright, let's see what else is happening in the news. Alright. I already read that. The IMF is giving us money. Guys, please remember that Minister of Labor and Social Security, Minister Pernell Charles Jr., is joining us tomorrow night to give us some updates on hurricane relief initiatives. Yeah, I think they're now going into the rebuilding phase. Yeah, I think them slow down on the distribution of food packages for now, and they're focusing on building material and stuff like that. And no, the government can't rebuild one 3-story house, Gil. It doesn't work like that. And if them build again in the first place, so yeah, them can't rebuild a 2-story or 3-story, 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom, veranda, balcony, garage, Gil. That I just not say work. It's not the government's responsibility, believe it or not, but they will help with rebuilding efforts. So the Minister of Labor and Social Security will join us tomorrow night to give us some updates on that. Hi Karine, how are you? Alright. Okay. And the government is taking steps to strengthen health services and address rising demand as it responds to the combined impact of Hurricane Melissa and the annual influenza season on the public health system. I heard from a medical professional that there's a new strain of flu that's going around, and it severely impacts those people with underlying health issues, especially respiratory issues like asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia, lung issues, and all of that. So please be careful. If you're able to go get the flu shot I think is free at some clinics, so get the flu shot. And please miss me with the old government to try to kill you off with vaccine. The flu shot them out before COVID and the COVID vaccine. Please, I don't want to hear it. If you don't want to take it, fine. If you want to take it, it's free at some health centers, so you get the flu shot. Yeah, the flu that's going around is very nasty. I personally know somebody who has asthma. He caught the flu. It made his breathing issues worse. Nebulization couldn't even help him, and he died. So, do with that information what you will. Okay. Let's see what else is happening in the news, yeah? Right now, my daughter in Mandeville has the flu. Oh my God, she's suffering. Yeah, the flu is really bad. A medical professional told me, because I had the flu last week before, but it didn't affect me that bad for that long. In addition to vitamin C, please take zinc supplements. It really helps a lot in fighting off the virus and helps to boost your immune system. So in addition to vitamin C supplements, get zinc, Z-I-N-C, get zinc supplements in addition to the vitamin C supplements. Stay hydrated, try to stay active, try to eat healthy. Yeah? All right. If only these pages would load, but Gleaner website always I get trouble. Don't know why. But let's see. Hello. Real hot in the shade. It was 96 degrees in the shade. Real hot. Now that we found love, what are we gonna do? All right, this story isn't loading. I don't know why. From the Gleaner. All right, hold on. This one load. A Westmoreland man has been charged for allegedly setting his neighbor's house on fire. He is 39-year-old Jason Hines of Smithfield District in Savannah Lamar, who is charged with arson. His court date is being finalized. The police report that about 10 a.m. on Tuesday, January 13, Hines entered a neighbor's yard while carrying a container with a liquid substance believed to be gasoline. The substance was reportedly poured under a window of the dwelling and set ablaze, causing damage to the window, surrounding boards, and a curtain. The fire was extinguished shortly after. The matter was reported to the police and the scene was processed. Hines was later arrested during an operation along Barracks Road in the parish later that same day. He was subsequently charged following a caution statement. Hello, Courtney Ferron. Like, I don't understand how people just love giving them freedom. So I could survive a day in jail or prison. First of all, no lip gloss na lip gloss na prison. I have my lip balm, my lip gloss. Me have to beard 2 times. Me have to use 3 different things beard, 2 different soap. Me have to have my face soap different from my body soap. Plus me have a bar soap for my face in addition to a liquid face wash. Me have to take my time when me have beard. Me keep and my stomach easy to sick. My stomach easy to sick. Can't take the cranniness and oh my god. Ew. And people are give their freedom every day if I go live in a condition there. For how much years? That's crazy to me. Lola, hi. The St. Catherine North Police are searching for the person or persons responsible for the fatal shooting of a man along King Street in Spanish Town on Friday. The deceased has been identified as 50-year-old Charlie White of Rivoli in Spanish Town. The police report that about 1:30 p.m., White was walking along the roadway when he was pounced upon and shot by unknown assailant or assailants. The police were summoned to the scene. The injured man was taken to the Spanish Town